If masks were required outside, you would think they would be even more necessary inside. That's basic science. It turns out inside some of college football, that was not the case. As the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders prepared for a new season of football, this university video showed a team seemingly ready to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic head on. Social media images showed coaches and players following protocols, maintaining social distancing when possible, wearing masks in public. Head coach Rick Stockstill insisted the team was doing everything it could.
We're so cognizant of wearing their mask and spacing out and everything.
But as these photos reveal inside the locker rooms, none of those rules applied. We showed the photos to the coach. So they're all packed in there very tightly together. Hardly anyone is wearing a mask.
I've got my mask on, right?
Over my nose. And how many other people have masks on?
It was a Conference USA rule that masks were not mandated in the locker room.
Which was why the coach had no problem with this video obtained through a public records request showing his team's locker room celebration.
We're following protocol, sir.
What does that say about the protocols?
I didn't make them.
In fact, Conference USA, the conference where Middle Tennessee plays, had a public standard and a private one. The conference's COVID-19 minimum standards of operation specified that face coverings must be worn by everyone on the field except dressed participating student athletes at all times. But off the field, individuals are not required to wear masks inside their designated team locker room.
If Conference USA said that's okay, then shame on them. If the NCAA said that's okay, shame on them.
Former Middle Tennessee offensive coordinator Tony Franklin pointed to Army's victory over Navy, where the team wore masks even as they celebrated.
We decided to follow Conference USA rules over the Center of Disease Control. We decided to do that. We're going to let those guys be the scientists instead of the CDC being the scientists.
Didn't feel like the risk was there. Because they were a tested group.
Athletic Director Chris Massaro says he didn't really worry about scenes like this because the players would have been tested at least 2 days before.
And everybody that's in the locker room has to be tested.
But just because someone tests negative on a Thursday doesn't mean they're going to be negative on Saturday night.
You're absolutely right. It doesn't guarantee it. But I think what you're doing is taking that risk down as low as you possibly can.
In fact, the day after this photo, someone in the group tested positive for COVID. Middle Tennessee was forced to cancel the rest of its season.
If you're going to be in that area and you're not going to have a mask on and you're positive, then you're going to infect someone else.
Back in the summer, the team had also had an outbreak among strength coaches, then players, after Franklin had warned about too many players crowding into the weight room not wearing masks. And on the road, meal times were also a challenge. One stop, Franklin said, was especially bad.
It was so confined that, everybody it was just like a clog, and I went, holy crap, this ain't good.
We followed the guidelines of each state.
So there were times that players were all huddled together eating meals?
No, sir. Not any more than what was allowed.
So you're sitting there for 15, 20 minutes having a meal with each other, to where now every protocol that you've said to do is broken because you're having a team meal.
So our jobs, what have we learned? What have we done? What can we do better? To be better the second semester than we were the first semester.
The athletic director says the school has already spaced out its weight room and is looking at other potential alterations. Coach Franklin says it will require an unwavering commitment to follow the science.
Middle Tennessee football was part of the problem. I hope to flip to where that they're now part of the solution. And I think that they will be, because they're not going to have a choice, because everybody in the world is going to be looking at them every single day for at least the next few months.
Off camera, the athletic director told me that he personally told the head football coach that Coach Franklin was right about a lot of the concerns he was raising, that Stockstill really needed to tighten up his operations. Phil Williams, News Channel 5 Investigates.